Welcome to NLS Banking Solutions. We are glad to present to you our innovation, Terafin, a financial transactions processing suite that is custom built for banks and other financial organizations. The key problem that faces every bank is direct coupling of all the touch points from the external world into the core banking system. This direct coupling brings a lot of issues, while any integration has to be reviewed or added newly, which always brings a closed architecture issue, where any new integration becomes a new project while there is no certainty on the consistency of other running interfaces. Let us understand the enterprise service bus concept a bit before going into the actual purpose of NLS Terafin suite. In an ESB, the service consumers initiate the services and request the ESB to process and respond to them within a particular timeline. Where the actual process is, when a service request reaches the ESB, the request is routed to the core banking application, for it to be processed, and then the service response is sent from the core banking application to the ESB. Then immediately, it is sent to the corresponding service consumer through various SOAP protocols on basis of SOA architecture. If we have to describe an ESB in layman's point of understanding, an ESB speaks with many systems, say, service consumers, in different languages, say, SOAP protocols, but it speaks with the core banking application, in one language, an SOAP protocol, which never changes. So any new integration is an abstract from the core banking application level. This is a simple way to explain the benefits and the purpose of an ESB implementation. Good, so, now we know what is an ESB, and how is it implemented. But still, did we sort the major issues, which is going to become a basis of this presentation and a purpose for Terafin. Transaction processing of all channels still happens at core banking application. Availability of the channels still is in stake, as every services implemented through the ESB still relies on the core banking application's availability. As per the discussion, we should have understood the purpose of ESB implementation. Also, there is a key reason for which the ESB implementations became important in our technology world, which is high availability of services. This means all the existing services are available to all the service consumers as usual, even when there is a new service being implemented. Yes, of course, the purpose of availability have been achieved in general. But in banking industry, the meaning for high availability goes beyond just the availability of services at the ESB level. If the core banking is down, or if it is slow in responding to the requests from the ESB, which means the ESB has to respond to the service consumers only after the core banking system responds. Question is, don't we have predefined timelines allocated by each service consumers? However, the availability is the key purpose, due to which an ESB is implemented in every banks. We know, to an extent, most of the transactions through the ESB are just the front office financial transactions. And again, even those financial transactions are not really a transaction that has to span around the whole set of rules defined in the core banking system. This is something which we members of NLS has really thought through over years and have implemented a very unique and powerful financial transaction processing engine that would easily form a part of your ESB, that will work through the ESB to process every financial transactions at the ESB level, making it so fast for the ESB to respond to the all touch points, making it every ATM transaction processed in less than 4 seconds and every mobile banking transaction processed less than 2 seconds and every internet banking transactions processed less than even a second. Above all, the direct system integrations, say host to host, are processed in nanoseconds. Also, beyond all, NLS Terafin is capable of processing 6,000 financial transactions in a second and utilizes each and every time cycles of a hardware, say the server, efficiently, than a core banking system, where we have practically benchmarked that for a complete financial transaction, say a funds transfer, with one charge code to be processed in the core banking application, uses a minimum of 160 to 300 TPS, but the same transaction, which takes 22 to 35 TPS, at the server of similar specification in NLS Terafin. The other important aspect is, NLS Terafin has been built with its own transaction reconciliation module up on it, to reconcile all the financial transactions between the core banking and the ESB. Let us summarize the implementation of NLS Terafin's key purposes. Financial transaction processing at the ESB level. Real-time reconciliation between the ESB processed financial transactions and the core banking processed transactions at the GL level on individual transaction basis. Increasing the performance of the banking ecosystem to 6,000 transactions per second.